is the Nokia N9, which hardly has any buttons at all. You can actually unlock it by double tapping on the front. And then you see the new main home screen, which is a grid of icons. And if you swipe to the left, you'll see the second home screen, which shows all your text messages, social networking updates. And the third one is thumbnails of all your currently open apps, in this case, Nokia Maps. And to get back to the home screens, all you have to do is just slide from the right or left, and you'll get kicked right back out into the home screen you were at. So you can use the thumbnails for multitasking or pop into another app like the camera one, for example. You can see here the camera, also you can tap to focus, and that seems to work quite smoothly on this sample. And then again, just slide back to the home screen. You can pinch to zoom to make those thumbnails bigger, and let's open the music app and take a look. This music app's been totally redesigned separately from Symbian, which is Nokia's more common software, and it does look pretty different, as you can see in MeeGo. Video also looked pretty good. The big screen, which sits really close to the surface, makes the video just look so alive. And as you can see, even if you slide to look at the home screens, the video still keeps playing, which looks really cool. Looking back at the home screens again, if I check out the settings, it was really easy to get to know MeeGo and the user interface on the N9. It was actually pretty straightforward to go back and forth, even though we hadn't used it ever before. The keyboard on MeeGo was really pleasantly clicky, so it made a nice tapping noise when we used it, and we found it very accurate. And also selecting and copying and pasting was really straightforward. Just drag your finger across the text to select it and then tap to paste it in. There's on-screen notifications on the sync screen, so you can just swipe those to get directly into the app in question. In this case, it was text messaging. And of course, Angry Birds is in place. Now, there's not going to be a lot of apps on the N9 because MeeGo's already kind of on its way out, but it's nice to see that at least Angry Birds is there. And it did load up really quickly, and it was really quick to start playing, which is a nice feature. The keyboard is in portrait mode, which is nice to see because Symbian never had that feature until recently. And the web browser did look pretty good in our initial tests. It was fairly fast, even though the connection speed was pretty bad. It doesn't support Flash like some other mobile browsers, like on Android phones, for example, but it does support HTML5, so all the websites that are using HTML5 video will be useful. You can add web pages to the grid of shortcuts. And you can also view all the open web pages along with the currently running programs on the multitasking screen. So once I've added a web page as a shortcut, I just have to hold it down to move it up to wherever I want it. On the top, the micro USB and the SIM card slot are really nicely hidden away, and this phone does use a micro SIM, which is similar to the iPhone 4, which isn't really a big deal, but what it does mean is you can't just straight swap your current SIM probably into the N9. The photo gallery was pretty straightforward, and the photos in the gallery Nokia told us had been taken by the N9, and they looked pretty good. The back of the N9 has an 8 megapixel camera. And there's a dual LED flash on board as well. So that's not quite the peak of the N8's 12 megapixel camera, but should be enough for a lot of people. And that polycarbonate case does look very vibrant in both the black, the pink, and the blue colors. So this phone looks almost as good as the press photos, which is very unusual for a phone, and kind of almost a bit upsetting because we know that it may not make it onto a lot of networks since the MeeGo software ecosystem is probably not going to go anywhere, but this N9 in person does look very good.